Thornetta Davis is Detroit's queen of the blues. Her smooth voice and strong delivery have dazzled audiences around the world.
Get up, get on up, get up and dance away your blues. Oh yeah, baby.
Thornetta's won more than 30 Detroit Music Awards, opened for greats like Ray Charles, Gladys Knight, and Etta James. And she's just released her new album, Honest Woman.
I believe everything gonna be alright. I believe everything gonna be alright now.
Viewers wake up with Evrod Cassimy every weekday morning on Local 4 News Today.
In high school, they used to call me E-Nasty. Do not ask why.
I'm not gonna ask.
Do not ask why.
Evrod chose journalism as a profession, but he's always loved singing, ever since he was a kid growing up near Chicago. He's kept his musical talent under wraps, until now.
I can't really remember a time when I didn't love music. Music has always been around in my family. My parents started me in kindergarten early. At age 3, my father was the principal of the school and my mother was a teacher there, a private Christian school. And I sang at my kindergarten graduation. And we still have the picture of that moment on the fireplace mantle at my parents' home. And it's just been something that I've done throughout my life just for fun. I grew up singing in church just like a lot of people did, and have just taken it from there. And I have always loved to sing for fun.
As a little bitty baby, I used to stop and listen to TV commercials and singing, and I was influenced by just watching television and listening to the music, and my mom and dad would play records all the time. We had records back then. Nobody actually said, well, you sound really good, you know, until I got into high school. I was just singing around the house. I guess they were used to me just singing to the radio or whatever. And when I got in high school, my sister told me they were having a talent show for this work program that she was at. And she said, you should really audition. You got a good voice. And that was my sister, so.
Did you get the part?
I got to perform, yes I did. It was a talent show, so we were competing. But when I showed up to audition, the guy who was putting on the talent show was also putting on a pre-production to the talent show. So he goes, well, can you sing in the pre-production also? And I was like, yeah, I was 15.
The town that I grew up in had an American Idol type of competition for a local radio station. And I remember entering it and having all my friends come to, you know, because part of it was based on audience support and participation. And I had all my friends from high school come, as did everybody else, and I won. I won that competition. That was a long time ago. But ever since then, I enjoyed it, you know, and have continued singing where I could and when I could. There's a lot of them, from Michael Jackson. I mean, Michael Jackson has been a constant in my home ever since I was a kid. Every Christmas, my family would play the Jackson 5 Christmas album from beginning to end, and I knew and still know every single word, every single song, every single key change. And to me, really, it's really not Christmas without the Michael Jackson 5 Christmas album. But Michael Jackson, for sure. I grew up listening to Boyz II Men, Mariah Carey, Usher. Yeah.
My inspirations started out when I was in high school. Phyllis Hyman. I wanted to be like her too. And then there was Diana Ross prior to her. And as I started singing the blues, when I started to make a living at this music that I do, Bessie Smith, Ma Rainey, Etta James, so many. I was a single mom, and I'd been performing with a girl group called Chanteuse. We weren't making any money, but you know, we were singing. And this guy, Dave McMurray, he was a horn player who heard us singing around town. We would just go up to the Renaissance Center because we liked the echo. And he says, oh, you guys are good. And he would hire us to come sing background with him. And then he goes, I'm singing with this band, the Chisel Brothers. Come on down and jam. So I started going there, jam sessions and sitting in. And then one day they asked me to join the band. We don't do top 40 music, that's what we were doing. We do blues and soul. And I said, okay, I can do that too. And so I went to my mama's records, pulled up all the stuff that I like listening to, and I started singing it, you know. And then immediately it was like the news started writing about this new blues singer in Detroit. That was in 1988, I think.
I have two. Can I do two? Sure. One, and don't laugh and don't actually judge me all you want. One, for obvious reasons, I would love to meet Beyonce. And I think anybody that watches the show knows that. But in terms of dead or alive, I would have loved to have met Michael Jackson. I would have loved to have seen him perform, period, live. Sadly, never got that opportunity. Just because of my family's history and love for Michael Jackson, you know, and being that we live here in Motown, I think that's fitting.
I'd love to sing with Bill Withers. I love his music. I love his voice. I think a duet would be kind of cool with me and Bill. Yeah.
I was not raised in Detroit, but I joke around with a lot of people that are in our newsroom that I'm from here. I mean, I've adopted Detroit as my hometown now, and it's very exciting to me to be surrounded by so much history, and I'm learning more and more every single day, and there's still places that I haven't been. But it's shocking to me. And when I hear of Berry Gordy's house being on the market and seeing what it looked like and wondering of all the stories of people who've gone through there, and the Motown Museum, and, you know, a place I haven't been just yet, but knowing that there's so much history and that Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 came here. I mean, I got to live one of my lifelong dreams here was to sit down with the Jacksons and to interview them. And I did that here in the Motor City at Motor City Casino Soundboard. And one of the big stories that I was challenged with, someone asked me what was an interview that I would really want to get while I was here. And I told them I would love to interview Aretha Franklin. And never, I mean, this was when I was brand new here, and laughed when I said it because I never thought that would have been possible. I know of her legacy and the history that she has, not just in the country, but all across the world, really. And little did I know that I would have not only gotten a chance to interview her, but have interviewed her many times and have seen her many times. And I consider her one of the greats. I mean, she is the queen.
Oh, God. From all the different music genres, I've done some rock, blues, funk, jazz. Just being here from Detroit, you're going to experience that. You know, Detroiters love music. We don't just have one genre. It's not just about Motown. Even the Motown musicians were blues musicians too. So we have it all here, and growing up listening to all that kind of music, that's what influenced me to be able to do what I do today.
Watch Thornetta Davis and Evrod Cassimy sing together as a Detroit duet on the Ford Fireworks, Monday, June 26th, only on WDIV Local 4.